Bonjour, mon ami. My name is Paul Kalemir. This is Habsolutely coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the heart of the city on Chrysler Avenue. Yes, we are right here from the studios of 4680Q. And if you notice, there's something missing over here. That's right. Usually my co-host, John Filion, is in the studio. John had business to take care of and couldn't make it in today. So it's going to be lonely in the studio today. And I can't sing a note, so don't worry about that. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The show must go on, right? John's not here. It's more fun when he's here, and you get a lot more information because he knows a lot. But at the end of the day, Habsolutely goes on. And all I can say right now is, what a week. And then there was one. That's right. You can throw everything out when the tough get going. The going gets tough when the tough get. You can use every saying you ever heard in your life, but it's not going to equal what we're going to face tonight because this is it. I mean, we can't depend on Columbus, obviously. Looks like teams are rolling over for them because they're not having a problem at all. They're just rolling through the best teams. And we seem to be getting stuck. We're in neutral. We just can't make it happen. So we're going to wait for the last game of the season. That's tonight against the Carolina. No, not Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes. That's who it's against. And maybe Rod Brindamore will do us a little favor and sit some of his best players for the playoffs. But don't worry about it. If I were you, I would not worry about it. Because here's what I've noticed over the season. And this is just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. My opinion as a hockey watching Habs guy. Think about the season. Our problem has been inconsistency. Am I right or wrong? We win 9 or 10 in a row, then we lose 9 or 10 in a row. We win 6 in a row, and now we lost 3 or 4 in a row. But the one thing that remains consistent is that we seem to play better and beat the better teams. How many times this year we played dogs and got our asses handed to us? Right? So, what have we been playing? We play Florida twice, we knock them off. There you go. Right there. Florida twice, knock them off twice. Big games. Games that we probably shouldn't have won, maybe. But we did it anyway. We played the top teams in the NHL. Tampa, you name them, Washington. We beat them all. We beat them all. But when we get to these bum teams, that's when we somehow can't make the grade. And I don't know why. Think even about these games we lost. What do? We tied Toronto 0-0. What a game. And we lost in overtime. We got a point. And then we play a team that is not that much better than us. We should be able to at least get a point out of them, if nothing else. Ottawa. And what do? We lose 5-2. Then we come back against a bum team. And this is the one that hurts me the most. The one that hurts me, gets me, stabs it right in the heart is Chicago. Here's a team that's basically battling it out for last place. They're in our barn. They're in our arena. This team is terrible. They suck. And they come into our arena in the most important game of the year, probably. If we're going to win one, that's the one we thought we're going to win. That's going to put us over the top. And they come in here, we take a 2-0 lead. We get a goal and assist from a guy who never stepped on the ice in Montreal before, in North America, for that matter, maybe, I don't know. And he goes out and he shows us how to play hockey. He gets a goal and assist for the boys to contribute to the cause. all this going for us with a 2-0 lead. We give it up and we lose. And then some baloney call in overtime really, really screws us up. Totally against the law. Can't do that in the NHL. It's rule number 75 or whatever the heck it's called. And we end up losing that one, getting a point which is worthless, really, the point. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We need 2 points to cement it. So now we're faced with one last shot. And then there was one. And we got to go out tonight and we've got to win it. But you know what? We're going to win it because our inconsistency has run like that. In the last 4 games have been brutal, but the next 4 games are usually really, really good. And we're playing a team that's better than us, which are the teams that we seem to play better against. So I am looking for at least a tie tonight, which would put us in. But I'm even looking more forward to a win tonight. The guys are going to come out firing, and if we do lose and we don't make the playoffs, I don't care. I would rather make the playoffs, of course. But my expectations at the beginning of the season were to be fighting for a wild card spot in March. And that's what we have done. We've met my expectations and Hughes' expectations for that matter, because he said at the beginning of the year, we want to see progress. We do not want to regress. We do not want to be in 28th place again or lower. We want to progress. We want to compete. And we've done it. Now, it's been inconsistent. These flashes of brilliance where we look like we could beat any team in the league. There'd be no team that could beat us. There's no team we have to worry about. We're good enough to win. And then we've seen crap where we didn't look like we could beat the beer league team down at the local Hoosgow over here. But the bottom line is, it's the inconsistency that is going to get us that game tonight, that win tonight, and put us in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I truly believe that. So you can argue it if you like. I've been arguing this all along. And I'm going to talk about Marty St. Louis later. I'm going to talk about St. Louis later. But this is the way I see it. This is what I truly believe is going to happen tonight. I really, really think that's the way it's going to go down. We're going to win this one. The guys are going to come out firing. I mean, these last games, we just haven't seen the motivation. We haven't seen the urgency, especially against Chicago. I'm going, is this a team that's battling for a playoff spot? They don't look like it to me. Pretty lackadaisical. Guys like Laine going for a skate, the stiff. Just no. But regardless, we're in the position now. Our fate is in our own hands. And even if we lose tonight, the season is a success, and we still have tomorrow night because there's no guarantee Columbus is going to win tomorrow night. They're playing the Senators. The Senators got a tough team. They got a tough team. I don't know if they're going to rest all their players or what's going on, if they're going to do for the playoffs, but they still have a pretty tough team. They gotta win. Columbus has to win the game, not tie it, and go into overtime. They got to win it in regulation time. And guess what? They're going to be holding their sticks a little bit tighter. Their sphincters are going to be a little bit tight out there. So at the end of the day, guess what? They're in no better position than we are. We're in charge. They got to come and get us. And of course, if we win tonight, it's all moot. It doesn't matter. They can go eat popcorn tomorrow night because they're not going anywhere if we put a point on the board or win in regulation. It doesn't matter. We get into overtime, we're a winner. It don't matter what happens. So look for a great game tonight. And don't forget the debate's on in French for all my friends out there in Habsland in Montreal, in La Belle Province. You got a debate tonight too, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Nobody's watching the debate. Nobody's watching the debate while the Habs are playing. Habs got to be winning 10-0. Maybe then they'll watch the debate. This is the number one priority. Forget about the debate. They're starting it later because of the Habs game. They should just cancel it. Nobody in Quebec is going to be watching a debate. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Yeah, I'm all wound up today. I'm all wound up. I can't wait for the game to start. I can't wait. I can't wait. I know what's going to happen. I feel it. I can really feel it. We're going to win this one, you guys out there. And that's the end of that. Get ready for Saturday night when we start the playoffs. That's all I can tell you. Get your popcorn ready. Okay, now Johnny's not here today. And, Johnny would have a lot to say about this. I know he would. I know he'd have a ton to say about this. But at the end of the day, John's a big hockey fan too. He's a big Habs fan too. And he would say, we are going to win. I know he would. I know in my heart he would. And he'd be going crazy and saying this is why. He'd have great excuses, great reasons, and never mind all the sayings and the tough get go. Yeah, forget about all that crap. Play it on the ice. We got to go out there and play. Let's get into Habs trivia from my buddy Vinny Houdon, and we'll get to some viewer comments later. And we thank everybody, of course, for tuning into the show. Number one, we thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in. Also, we appreciate you subscribing to the show. If you're watching the show and you're not subscribed, go there right now. Down here, I think it is. Subscribe. You're going to get a notification when I drop a show on YouTube. You get a notification and you'll be part of it. The algorithm will help us spread the show around. We get good comments on the show. So when we do get comments, we get good comments mostly. And people enjoy the format. And we are the only show like this. Two old guys hashing it out here, remembering the good old days. Um, uh, that do a show. Tune in, subscribe. Thank you very much. Merci. Okay, Habs trivia. Who is the player that has played the most playoff games for the Montreal Canadiens in his career? Let me repeat that. Who is the player that has played the most playoff games for the Montreal Canadiens in his hockey career? And I'm going to give you four choices. Numero uno, Le Gros Bill, Jean Beliveau. Number two, the Big Bird, Larry Robinson. Number three, the Rocket, Maurice the Rocket Richard. Or number four, his little brother, the Pocket Rocket, Henri Richard. Who do you think it is? John? He probably would know it. John's really good at analyzing this. He looks at the name and when did he play? How many games were they playing in those days? How many games? What did the team do as far as playoffs go? He's an analytical. He analyzes it, and he finally, by the process of elimination, knows who it is, or he just knows who it is right off the bat. Vinny Houdon, you're really good at it. You're really good at it. So let me give you the question and the answers again, the four picks, and we'll go from there. Who is the player that has played the most playoff games for the Habs in his hockey career? Number one, Le Gros Bill, Jean Beliveau. Number two, Big Bird, Larry Robinson. Number three, The Rocket, Maurice the Rocket Richard. Probably my favorite player, him and Beliveau. And number four, the Pocket Rocket, Henri Richard. You got it? You got your pick in? Okay. I think even Drew Deeks would have got this one. Tip of the hat to Drew Deeks out there. Couldn't make it in the studio, of course, but he's out there listening, we think. You think. The guy who has played the most playoff games for the Habs in his NHL career is the Big Bird, Larry Robinson. Player, coach, an all-around good guy, Robinson started his career with the Brockville Braves, moving up to the Kitchener Rangers in the OHL, turning pro in 71 and playing to until 1973 with the Nova Scotia Voyageurs. At 6'4" and about 225 pounds, he's a big guy. The Big Bird was a big, strong, and mobile defenseman, something that was a rarity back in his day. He was a big guy. He spent 17 years with the Habs and another 3 years with the LA Kings before retiring. Drafted 20th overall by the Habs, Robinson went on to win 2 Norris trophies, the Conn Smythe Trophy in the 1978 Stanley Cup Series as the most valuable player in the playoffs, and notched 6 Stanley Cup rings with the Habs. He also holds the record for the most consecutive playoff seasons at 20. That's right. Every year of his career that he played, he was in the playoffs. 17 with the Habs and 3 with the Kings. He never missed the playoffs in his career. Imagine that. 20 years and he never missed the playoffs. But that has a lot to do with the Habs. They were a bang up team then, man. They were crazy good. They were crazy good. He holds an impressive career plus minus record, get this, of 730, plus 730 for his career. Now you know why they made the playoffs every year, including a plus 120 in the 1976-77 season. I mean, really, who does that? Well, that plus 120, you know where that was. That was the year that we only lost 8 games during the year, and we won every home game. We didn't lose a home game, and won the Stanley Cup, of course. So, what a guy. Inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1998, he is ranked number 24 of the 100 greatest players of all time. He ended his career with an astounding 207 goals and 751 assists in his playing career. Jeez. His plus minus record of 730 almost matches assists. His passion for hockey translated into coaching, working as an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils and helping guide them to their 1995 Stanley Cup ring win, ring number 7. In 1996, he was hired by the LA Kings to be their head coach and left them at the end of the 98-99 season to go back to New Jersey Devils as assistant coach once again. Taking over as interim head coach for the Devils when Rob Ftorek was fired on March 23rd, 2000, Robinson guided the New Jersey Devils to the Stanley Cup Finals and added another Stanley Cup ring to his collection. What's that, number 8? His love-hate relationship with the Devils continued as he was fired during the 2001-2002 season. He got fired, but then he returned as assistant coach in February of 2002 in time to add his 9th Stanley Cup ring to his collection the next season. Unbelievable, this guy, right? 9 Stanley Cup rings, and he's not finished yet. He's not finished yet. Robinson, man, I remember him. When that guy was back on defense, nobody monkeyed around back there. He was tough as nails and so good, and he could skate like the wind. I mean, you just knew if he was back there, there was no problems. You're not going to have any troubles. Everything's going to be okay. And then we had other great guys back there, Savard and Carter and everybody else. I mean, you know, we just had the team, let's face it. Not one to sit around. He had stints with the San Jose Sharks and then went on to be senior consultant to hockey operations with the St. Louis Blues, adding his 10th Stanley Cup ring to his collection when the Blues won the Cup in 2019. 1 ring for each finger, 10 of them. If anybody ever asks you, you know, he's got 1 for each finger. Well, 1 for each finger and 1 for each thumb, too. 10 of them. Robinson was also a polo player. He loved polo because he grew up on a farm with a love for horses. He was the co-founder of the Montreal Polo Club, with teammate Steve Shutt and several prominent Montreal veterinarians. So he owned a polo club. His love of horses transformed into thoroughbred racing. He partnered up with Bruce McNall of the Los Angeles Kings, the owner that stole Gretzky away from the Edmonton Oilers. Remember him? And they had a stable called Suma Stable, and they sent a horse called Down Again to the post to win the Monrovia Handicap at Santa Anita Park in Arcadia. So a little bit of success in the thoroughbred racing. It's a wonder he never got hooked up with Serge Savard, who was in the harness racing and had something going with him. So he won that at Santa Anita Park in Arcadia, and that's in California. And I have been there many, many times because I like the horses too. And the Big Bird is alive and well. He's still working in hockey for the Louis Blues organization, I believe. What can I say? Larry Robinson, you don't have to be an old timer to remember this guy. One of the greats of the Montreal Canadiens, and all the fans loved him to death. He was just that guy. He was just that guy. Now I don't know. If John was here, he'd probably be talking a lot more about him. He just knows. John knows how great this guy was, and we really enjoyed watching him over the years. And I probably saw every one of his Stanley Cup rings get won. Saw all of his Montreal Canadian ones for sure. I saw the Devils win it a couple times. I saw St. Louis win it, so I would have seen everyone he's involved in. Now, a lot of you guys, I wonder if you picked John Beliveau or Maurice Richard or Henri Richard. I probably, if I had to take a guess out of those three, I would have probably said Henri. Maybe he played a lot of years and won a lot of Stanley Cups, was in a lot of playoff games. So, I mean, it would make sense that he might be the guy. I don't think Maurice played in that many playoff games, although they won 5 Stanley Cups, but the seasons were shorter. There wasn't as many games. So, that's another thing. Same with Beliveau. They didn't have as many games. Playoffs were a lot shorter. Robinson was there when there was the full expansion and everything. Okay, let's move on to some video comments. Not too many this week, but a couple of new ones here. New commenters, and we thank you for commenting. We appreciate all your comments. Vinny Houdon, now you are making trivia too hard. First, Vinny says it's too easy. Then he says it's too hard. But you know what? The bottom line is with the trivia, it's about learning. It's about reliving the beauty of the Montreal Canadiens, their glorious history, and all the things they've done over the years. He goes on to say, how about that Demidov signing? Habsland is celebrating. Looks like he might play his first game Monday against the Hawks, and they call him the best Habs prospect since Lafleur. And that's a big statement, but I believe he is. And we saw some of that in the game against Chicago, the last game. He's the real deal. He's the real deal. And we're glad to have him. Well, Vinny, it really was a sight to behold, for sure. And he lived up to his billing with an assist and then a highlight reel goal. Where, except for Habsland, do you get a 5-minute standing ovation for an assist? And that blew my mind. When he got the assist, I'm going, this is great, but then a 5-minute standing ovation. The crowd was going crazy. Even when he came up for the skate, the crowd was going crazy. I don't remember this much excitement about a player for a long, long time. Yeah, we had Kovalev and Kovalchuk, and we had a couple other good players come up, but man, oh man, this kid here. Tonight he's going to get a couple goals, maybe. See what Marty St. Louis does with us, because and I'm going to talk about Marty, but I don't know about him sometimes. At Chris Pilo 747. Excellent, he says. And I go, I think he must be talking about the show. And we thank him. We thank this first-time commentator. Thank you very much. We feel the show is excellent. I don't know. I don't know what everybody else thinks. We think it's pretty darn good, but that's us. We're biased. We're biased. But thank you very much for that comment. Um, we try our best at Crispilo. We try our best at Dave Sumner 68. Hey, another first time commentator. I think I never remember seeing his name before. He says, "Great show as always, guys, and I haven't watched the whole show yet." Well, we certainly thank you for your kind words at Dave Sumner 68. And I haven't, and encourage you to subscribe if you haven't to the channel and share the show with your friends. Let them in on the fun. What the hell, right? They want to watch the show too. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to watch the show? I mean, this is a great time to be a Habs fan. We're sitting here doing the show, jazzed up because we're fighting for a playoff spot. And actually, we're in control. We have the playoff spot. We're not fighting for it. Columbus is fighting for it, not us. We're there. And it's a great time. And are we being entertained yet, everybody? Absolutely, we are. Yes, Vinny, it's a great time. It's a great time to be a Habs fan. And that was a comment from Vinny. What a great time to be a Habs fan. Vinny Udo. And yes, we're being entertained. Yes, we've had our hearts broken a couple times. Yes, we've been ecstatic a couple times. And tonight, if we were in my backyard like we were for the draft last year and Drew Deeks was there, he'd be jumping in. He'd be jumping in the pool. He really would be. I cannot wait to see what he has to say after we win tonight. And like I say, for me, I'm just happy to be here. This is uh, met my expectations for the year. I said this in October, September, October. I want them to be challenging for a wild card spot. I wanted them to be at 500 by December, and they are pretty close to it. And here we are. What more can I tell you? I think they have met all our expectations this year. Win or you lose tonight, we love the Habs. And I think this has been a successful season. Next year, the inconsistency will be dropped. There'll be a better team organically just from playing the games. We're going to pick up a few new pieces. There's going to be a couple guys gone. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have a playoff to play. And that's the bottom line because I said so. Okay, the games at this point, the games really don't matter that we played. Do they? Do they really matter? Do you really care about them? I don't think so. I mean, we had to win to secure a playoff spot. We couldn't manage a win, so we're down to the game tonight. For those of you that can't remember, or those of you that don't want to remember the last three games, here's the week that was, and the first one started off with a game in Ottawa against the Sens. I mean, I thought we were going to win that game. We lost it 5-2. Just a terrible effort. Just terrible. And I don't understand why Martin St. Louis played Montembeault. I don't get it. Would he not want to keep his best goaltender for the Leaf game on Saturday? Why not play Dobish? He had a good last game. I mean, I really thought, and I think John was on board with that we were going to be seeing Dobish in net with Monty come playing the game on Saturday against the Leafs, a big game against the Leafs. Fooled us. So now he loses Montembeault. Right? Now what? Do we play him again on Saturday? Right? And that was a back-to-back situation. We played Friday and Saturday. Do we play him again on Saturday? Yeah. And we lose in overtime. 0-0 game. Or was that Dobish that played? That was Dobish that played. That's right. Yeah, it was Dobish, wasn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. I sometimes I don't pay attention to these games as much as I should. But either way, we lost it in overtime. I mean, Suzuki goes in, if I remember right. He falls down, and Marner goes up the ice with somebody. I don't know. Suzuki turns around and goes to pick up his stick. He goes in, shoots it, and I think was it Dobish that missed that? Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. Doesn't matter. That's what I mean. These best games, we could talk about them, but they really, really don't matter at the end of the day, right? You know, it doesn't matter if we don't win them. If we won them, we wouldn't even be talking about them at all. Why bother? If we won one of these games, it would just be we're in the playoffs. Now let's talk about the playoffs. We're playing Washington, and that's not going to be an easy series. And Washington's been resting everybody up. I mean, they really rolled over for Columbus. I was very, very disappointed. 7-0 the first game. And I figured they've been embarrassed. They were embarrassed in Columbus. They're going to come home and they're going to put on a display like we've never seen before. And they rolled over again. What'd they do? Lose 4-1 or something? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so the Leafs overtime lost. I get tired of talking about it. Montreal, sometimes they drive me nuts. In Chicago, of course, we're waiting. We're waiting. Demidov's in town. Demidov, he's in Toronto. Is he going to play against Toronto? I really thought he was going to play against Toronto, to be honest with you. You think we could have used a goal from him that night? I think we could have. I think we could have. So, he doesn't get in that game. Steps on the ice before the game in Habs land. And crowd goes wild. And we're all excited. And the guy goes out there. Assists on the first goal. He electrifies the crowd. Assists on the first goal. What was he in? 1 or 2 shifts? Got an assist. 1-0. He takes the puck and he makes a newsreel move on the goalie and puts the puck in the net. The crowd goes wild. The crowd goes wild. Standing ovation for an assist, and the crowd goes wild. It's up 2-0 Montreal. I thought we were on a roll. We're going to win this one. Nah, not to be. I mean, he did his job. Gosh, he comes from out of nowhere, jumps on the ice and scores the goal and an assist in his first NHL game. I mean, that's phenomenal. But our boys couldn't help him out. Couldn't help him out. And then that controversial goal in overtime. I mean, how could this happen? What kind of Mickey Mouse blind referees do we have in this league? The guy takes a shot. No goal. So, why aren't the referees looking for the puck? What did you think after the guy took the shot, they'd pick up the puck and give it to the guy who's going to take the next shot? What did they think happened to it? Well, when they couldn't find the puck, you'd think they'd say, by the G's, where'd the puck go? There's no puck here. And they'd be looking around for it. No, nah. Blew the whistle, gave the puck to Laine, a new one, I guess, not the same one. And then he shoots and he misses Laine, of course. But, if there was already a goal in the bag for the Chicago Blackhawks, maybe Laine would have had a different attitude going in, knowing that they're down 1-0 and they got to get a goal. Kind of like, I don't know. He loafed all night, really. He didn't do anything. He's a loafer. This Laine guy, man, I'd sit him tonight. I wouldn't even play him. What's he do? Supposed to be the power play guy, but he never helped us on any power plays. They figured him out. Goaltenders have figured him out. Players have figured him out. So what's he actually do? It's like Newhook. Skates around 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he can't score. He has so many chances, he can't score. I mean, yeah, it's nice that he's fast. He should go on the speed skating in the Olympics. But if you can't put the puck in the net, I mean, what good is all that speed? I don't know. This guy's bothered me. So anyway, no puck, and then all of a sudden they figure it out. But Liney's already taken a shot. So the rule says if you don't challenge it and the play starts, that you can't challenge it anymore. It's over. So the referees all of a sudden say it was a goal. And they go to the net and they find the puck in the net. I mean, it's pretty clear it was a goal. But it was too late. Laine already took a shot. So the coach says, hey, if that was a goal, everything should have stopped right there. Laine shouldn't have got a shot. So he should take a shot over again. Everything goes back to before they found it out. And Laine still got a shot coming. But they say no, it's a goal, and we lose. We lose by that one. Our guys couldn't score. Suzuki, Caulfield, and Laine. So why didn't Marty St. Louis put them in a... There's a guy who scored a highlight reel goal. He got an assist in his first game in the NHL. This guy, why wouldn't he put him out there? I don't get it. The goaltenders don't even have a book on this kid. They don't know what he's going to do. It's his first game. Wouldn't that make sense to put this prolific scorer on the ice and in a shootout? No, he doesn't. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I don't even want to try to understand it because my brain will freeze. So we lose that game too. And I was going to ask John what his thoughts on that goal were, but I'm sure he'll say the same thing. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. I think that he would say the same thing as everybody else. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. I mean, really, when they make a mistake like this, they got to be put on the shelf. That's it. You're not doing any playoff games, number one. And number two, you're going to be fined or suspended. I mean, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I've seen referees call bad games. We've had a couple of bad games called against us in the last 3 or 4 games. Some crazy penalties for the other team, some crazy penalties against us. And sometimes it goes both ways, too. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. And so that gets me to my commentary. And like it or not, if we choke tonight, if we don't win this one tonight, and we miss the playoffs, this has got to go right on the shoulders of MSL. That's right, I'm blaming MSL. Now, I'm blaming him, but I'm going to explain why I understand. This guy is just not a wartime coach. He doesn't know what to do. You see him, he don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. He doesn't know how to set lines. He doesn't even know who to play. And that proves it in the shootout. I mean, we want to win this game. We have to win this game. You put out the guy who got a goal and an assist. You put out the hot guy, the guy nobody's seen before. How can he miss this? How can you not do this? And it's just because he doesn't know what he's doing. I just don't think at this point he's a wartime coach. And it really shows in these tough games when something big is on the line that we just don't seem inspired. We don't seem motivated. We don't seem ready to go take it. Not to get breaks and let it come our way. No, or the other team loses so we get in. No, we have to go take it. And I don't see that urgency with the Montreal Canadiens. I haven't over the last 3 games anyway. And I'm going to tell you, they better have it tonight. They better have it tonight. And it's because he's never been in this situation before. And that's why I say I understand why he's having problems. The guy knows how to get on the ice and do things. There's no doubt about it. He's done it. We've seen him do it. There's no doubt about it. The guy knows what to do. He knows what he's doing. And believe me, if he could, he'd jump on the ice and show those guys how to do it, probably get a goal or two. But being behind the bench and translating that into motivation and urgency and that win at all costs attitude you have to have. You got to have that in your heart. He doesn't know how to transfer that. And that's why at the beginning of the season, a lot of people were calling for Montreal to hire a coach, a bona fide coach, not to get rid of Marty, but to assist Marty. That's why they were calling for it. Because when we get in a situation like this, Marty just doesn't have the experience. So we're battling it out for the playoff spot, and he don't have the experience, and you're seeing it on the ice. So a guy like, say, Bruce Boudreau they were talking about, or anybody else, any professional coach who has been there, done it. And you see the teams that are really doing good. I mean, just look at Columbus. They're mowing down teams with experienced coach Dean Evanson behind the bench, leading the charge, right? I mean, this guy coached in Minnesota. Now he's coached in Carolina. He's very successful. Or Columbus, he's successful. And these guys are motivated. Maybe a little bit to do with Johnny Hockey and the way he left the team. But the bottom line is they're getting it done. And the coach is back there. And Marty looks like he's getting out coached in every game that we lost by experienced coaches. I mean, in Habs land, we lose to a last place team on home ice with our backs to the wall, having a soon to be all star stepping in the lineup, chipping in a goal, an assist, helping the boys. We still blow a 2-0 lead. I mean, I've got to look to the coach. I've got to look to the coach for goaltending choices. I got to look to the coach for putting grit on the ice. This is the time of year that we need players who are gritty. They're not going to let these guys wander around our D zone. Did you see the Chicago Blackhawks just skating around? Everybody else just skating around having a party? It was a fiesta in our zone. Yeah, they're just skating around at will. Nobody's hitting them. They're just hanging around, not making it tough on anybody. Well, that's where you need guys. And if you want to see what happens when you have a good team, and we do have a good team, make no mistake about it, with no grit, then you look to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's why they never make it out of the first round. They have no heart. They have no grit. Not tough enough. Get against these teams. Ottawa showed us that. Tough. Tough. Leafs, well, they're not tough. I mean, 0-0, we lost in overtime. And even Chicago showed us that. They played a good game. But we don't have that guy patrolling the ozone. And that's what happens. That's what happens. Blow a 2-0 lead, don't get it back. No toughness. Nobody's afraid. Come wandering in our zone with impunity. Nah, nobody's going to do nothing. Who's going to do anything? Well, with the Wi-Fi, with Sheriff, we need the Sheriff patrolling. Sheriff there, I think he's playing tonight. I read he's playing tonight. Marty St. Louis brought him back in. Bravo, Marty. Bravo. Might it be too late? I don't know. Might have been good to do that a few games ago. Somebody say he takes penalties. Oh, well, everybody takes penalties. I mean, what did they get? 2 power play goals against the Chicago? Something like that. Who cares? Get him on the ice. Make the other team think a little bit. And of course, we go to the stats. And the only stat that we need to know is this. We need at least a point tonight to seal the deal. That's it. That's the stat. That's the stats. We don't care about everything else. Rest of the season doesn't matter because it's boiling down to one game tonight. And you know what the stat is there? A tie go into overtime or a win. It doesn't matter either way. but we still have a redeeming game left, even though we don't play it, and that's the Sens against Columbus. So if we don't win tonight, we're gonna all be glued to that game tomorrow night against Columbus, Senators against Columbus, and we're gonna be rooting for the Sens, even though we don't like them. We're gonna be rooting for them to win that game. But I don't want to do that. Let's make this point moot. We don't have to worry about Columbus. We don't have to worry about the Senators. We don't have to worry about the Senators rolling over. If our boys go out there and play the game they're capable of tonight, MSL, you've got to motivate these guys. You really do. I don't care what lines you use. I don't care what you promise them. Somehow we've got to motivate these guys to get out there and play their best game. And like I say, let's go back to the inconsistency. They've been inconsistent, but whenever they lose 3 or 4 games and they have some bad games, they lose. What do? They come back and win 3 or 4. Tonight's the night, and they usually do it against good teams. Tonight's the night. This is it. They're going to win tonight, and we're going to have a different conversation next week as we are probably going to be 1 or 2 games into our playoff run. So that's it. That's it. There's nothing more to say. That's the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going to go. Habs got to take care of business tonight. And if they do, we got no problem. We're going to win this game tonight. We're going to win this game tonight. I want everybody to repeat after me. Send positive waves to Montreal. We're going to win this game tonight. We're going to win this game tonight. No doubt in my mind, we're going to win this game tonight. Bet money on Montreal. We're going to win this game tonight. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So I'm going to be getting out of here early. La trois étoiles de la semaine dernière, Vinny Udo. Here's my 3 stars. I don't know who John would have picked. Disappointing week a little bit. I don't know who he would have picked. Was there any bright shining stars out of those games? Well, my first star out of those games would be Ivan Demidov. I mean, the kid comes into town with huge expectations, huge pressure on him to perform. And he goes out there like he's been skating in the NHL for 20 years. Grabs a beautiful assist and then scores a highlight reel goal, dipsy doodling around that goaltender and tucking it in. I mean, what a beautiful. That's star number 1. Let's face it. Come on. If we are sad about all the games that were played last week, the 3 games that we lost, we can be happy about the performance of Demidov. You know, this guy's going to be a thrill to watch next year with Laine Hudson back there. We hardly heard his name. It was a Demidov. But Laine Hudson was putting on a performance too. He always does. He's so good. He's so good. And with a year under his belt, he's going to even be better next year. My second star of the week, Ivan Demidov. That's right. He's got to be the second star too. I can't think of anybody else who thrilled everybody and done anything like this. If we won a couple games, you can say Monty or whoever was in goal against the Leafs, the 0-0 tie, even though we lost it. I'd throw that guy in or Dovich, whoever it was. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who are they going to play tonight in goal? Are they going with Sammy? I don't know. Dovich has played pretty good. Sammy looks struggling against Chicago a little bit. I don't know. Sammy's got to play. You dance with the person who took you to the dance, and that's Sammy Montembeau and Wi-Fi. He took us to the dance. Let him play. What's the matter with you people? Star number 3, le troisième étoile, Ivan Demidov. And I think that says it all for the week. That was disappointment, and then elation. We lost. Yeah, we lost. Okay, we lost in overtime. But man, oh man, we saw something that is going to do us well in the coming years. And as this team rolls through this thing, the reason I really want them to make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I'm not that crazy. I'm nuts, but I'm not that crazy. But what I do want them to do is get some experience in the playoffs. I want them to have that experience of how the playoffs work, of how everybody skates, of how it goes. That's going to do them some real, real good. That's why I'd like to see them get in the first round. Like I say, if they don't, the season's over and we don't make it. It'll be because of youth and inconsistency. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be yelling and screaming. I question the coach for a lot of it. He's the one who's got to motivate the guys. But at the end of the day, we have to say it's been a successful season. We're where we want to be, and it sets us up for an even better run at it next year, where we're not going to be fighting and waiting for the last game of the season to make the playoffs. We're going to be in it. We're going to be in it. Nobody's going to be able to throw us out in one game. We won't be waiting to the last game of the season to see whether we can make it or not. Until then, we have to sit back and wait. Game time is what? 7 o'clock. We have 6 hours to wait. Go have yourself a nice supper. Do what you got to do. Grab a bowl of popcorn. Sit down. Have a bottle of your favorite hooch beside you just in case. Kill the pain. But at the end of the day, remember this. Our inconsistency is going to be what wins the game for us tonight, because after we lose, we go on a winning streak. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Habsolutely. Too bad John's not here. He would have enjoyed this. Thank you for all our viewers. Thank you to everybody. We appreciate you. God bless you all. Thank you, Vinny. Our three commentators here, our three viewers that left comments. Vinny, I'm going to say them because they deserve to be given a shout out for being there and watching our videos and commenting and being involved in all this. Chris Pilo 747 and Dave Sumner 68. Thank you so much, everybody. Watch the game tonight. My name is Paul Gilligan. This is Habsolutely. You know what it is. It's Habsolutely. 4680Q Radio, live at noon on 4680Q.com. Watch for the video dropping probably just before 3 o'clock. I get it up there and running. And we'll talk to you next week at noon. Talk to you next week at noon. And I'm going to be smiling. I'm going to be a little bit melancholy. God bless you all. Have a great day. We will talk to you later. Au revoir, mon ami.